Okay, children. So now next topic is force on current carrying conductor placed in magnetic field. Already you know that there is a force which acts on a charged particle which is moving in a magnetic field region. So if a charged particle is moving, it's like a current. So any current carrying conductor will also experience magnetic force in magnetic field. Okay, and the force is given by formula. For charged particle, for charged particle it is q v cross b. Okay, so for here it is I L cross B. And how it is, see, if there is a magnetic field, this is magnetic field, and you have a conducting wire, okay, of length say L is the length, angle between, and this is the direction of the current. Okay, so IL is the current element, so the direction of this current element is same as L in the direction of current. So this is the direction of IL cross B, this is the direction of B, so angle between them will be theta. Okay, and so this is IL cross B, cross product, and this will become magnitude wise. Okay, so F, the magnitude will be ILB sine theta. Okay, if current is in this direction, then you'll have to take IL in this direction only. If current is in this direction, then IL has to be in this direction. So ILB sine theta, the theta is angle between these two. Now how to find the direction? This is magnitude. So for direction, it is Fleming's left hand rule. And according to Fleming's left hand rule, if this forefinger points in the direction of the magnetic field and your central finger points in the direction of the current, that means motion of positive charge. So my thumb will give the direction of the magnetic field. So in this case, it is pointing downwards. Okay, in this case, see, it was pointing downwards. So we will use Fleming's left hand rule, or for any cross product, the general rule which you have studied in 11th class, which is right hand screw rule, that can be applied. You will get correct result. Okay, now using this result, there is this topic which we are going to do, force between two parallel conductors carrying current. Okay, parallel conductors we have in course CBC, not parallel conductors are not there. Okay, so this is one first case where case 1 I am taking, where both the conductors carry current in the same direction. Okay, this is my wire 1, which okay, conductor 1, conductor 2, it carries current, and this current is I1, here current is I2. Okay, so because of this current, there will be magnetic field around it, so it will experience force, and because of this current, there will be magnetic field around it, and this will experience force. So they both are experiencing force due to each other. So we will find what is the force on one. So to find force on one due to current in 2, F12. Okay, so force on 1 due to current in 2. So see, I'll use IL cross B. So I1, if I have to find out small force, like there is a current here, but this is long wire, I take a small element, I1 dl. Okay, so this is current element, I1 dl, small element, so there will be small force acting on it, so d F12. Okay, or you just, even if I don't write F1, this force is a small force, so I1 dl cross magnetic field due to this. Okay, so B2 due to this magnetic field, so this will be equal to I1 dl B2 sine theta. The theta is angle between these two. Now you see, I1 dl is in upward direction. What is direction of B2? Now you see, due to this wire, what will be direction of magnetic field here? So right hand thumb rule, yeah. Thumb point, for my right hand, thumb points in the direction of the current. So the curl of my finger at this place points upward. So the magnetic field here, okay, magnetic field here is in upward direction. So what is the angle between magnetic field and ideal? 90 degree. So this is 90 degree. I1 dl B2 sin 90 is 1. Okay, here since theta is equal to 90 degree. Okay, now what is this is F12. So F12 by dl, force per unit length for this wire, is equal to I1 B2. But what is B2? Magnetic field due to straight conductor. Suppose this distance is r. So how can I write B2? B2 is, we have done for a straight, infinitely long straight conductor, magnetic field is mu naught I. So for this, I2 upon 2 pi r. So this we will substitute here. So F12 by dl is equal to I1 mu naught I2 by 2 pi r. So you'll get mu naught by 2 pi I1 I2 by r. Okay, this is expression for F12, force on 1 due to 2. Okay, but what, this is the magnitude. What about the direction? Now this is the direction of IDL. Magnetic field is in upward direction. So if I'll use Fleming's left hand rule, see, current is in the upward direction. Okay, so IDL is an upward direction. Magnetic field up. See, now see, this is correct. Magnetic field, this finger upward, central finger in the direction of the current. So my thumb is pointing towards this wire. Okay, this wire, towards the right side. So towards second conductor. Okay, now if I have to find force on 2 due to 1, F21, so this will be I2dl. I'll have to consider current element here. So I2dl, suppose this is the current element, so I2dl into B1, magnetic field due to this, magnetic field at this point because of current in this, so that is B1 I take. So what will be value of B1? B1 will be magnetic field due to this, so mu naught I1 upon 2 pi r. This is I1. So when we'll substitute that, so what and why I have not written sin theta here, because here again you see I2dl is in upward direction. What is direction of B1? B1 is the magnetic field at this point due to this current. So if right hand screw rule ke according, this is the direction of the current. My curl of my right hand finger is pointing downward. So here it was upward, but here magnetic field is in downward direction. So again the angle between I2dl and magnetic field will be 90 degree. So that's why that sin 90 is 1. So I have not written here. Okay, this all otherwise you write just sin 90. So I2dl B1. Okay, this is F21. What is the direction of, so okay, for F21 by dl will become I2 B1. Okay, and so I2 B1 when you substitute mu naught I1 upon 2 pi r. So you see F21 upon dl is equal to mu naught upon 2 pi I1 I2 by r. Mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi. Same thing we are getting here. But what about the direction? What about the direction? So magnetic force here. Now see, for Fleming's left hand rule, current is in the upward direction, central finger upward, magnetic field in downward direction. So I'll have to see magnetic field is in the, you can see my forefinger is in downward direction. My thumb is pointing this side. Okay, my thumb is pointing towards C1. So towards first conductor. So you see we are getting same magnitude, but the direction is opposite. Here the direction was towards C1, here the direction, so they are, this force is mutual and attractive. Okay, so the force here, force per unit length comes out to be mu naught by 2 pi I1 I2 by r, and it is attractive. When the two wires carry current, parallel wire carry current in the same direction, the force is attractive. Well, what about the condition when the current is in opposite direction? So if you have current in opposite direction, suppose these are the wires, this is conductor 1, this is conductor 2, this is I1 dl, small element, and here is the current, so this is I2 dl in the downward direction. Okay, now we have opposite direction. So force on 1 due to 2 will be, force on 1 will be I1 dl cross B2, magnetic field due to second wire. So I1 dl B2. And what about angle? So you see I1 dl is in upward direction, and due to this downward current, magnetic field now here, this time magnetic field is downward. So due to this, magnetic field here is downward. So angle between B2 and IDL is again 90, sin 90, which is 1. So you'll get I1 dl B2. Okay, so your this is F12. So F12 by I1, IDL is equal to I1 B2. So it will be I1, and what will be B2? B2 will be equal to mu naught I2 upon 2 pi r, if this is r. So mu naught I2 upon 2 pi r. So what you will get, F12 by dl is equal to mu naught by 2 pi I1 I2 by 2r. R2 I have already written by r. So same expression which we got before, we are getting now also. But what about the direction this time? So for direction on this Fleming's left hand rule hota hai. So you see current is in upward direction, magnetic field is in downward direction, right? Magnetic field is in downward direction. So my thumb is pointing this side. Okay, so thumb is pointing away from the away from this wire. This is the direction of F12. Okay, here this was the direction of F12, this was the direction of F21, but here this is the direction of F12. So away from conductor 2. Same way, when I'll have to find the direction of F21 will be equal to I2 dl cross B1, magnetic field at this point due to this first wire. So I2 dl B1. What about the angle? So magnetic field, what is the direction of magnetic field here? Because of this current is in upward direction, magnetic field is in downward direction here. Okay, magnetic field is in downward direction, IDL is in this direction. Downward direction means magnetic field is inside the plane of the paper. Okay, and this current is in this direction. So when magnetic field is inside the plane of the paper, angle is 90 degree. So again this will be sine 90, which is 1. So you will get F21 is equal to I2 dl B1. And what will be B1? B1 will be mu naught I1 upon 2 pi r. So we'll substitute that. So F21 upon dl will be I2 B1. So I2 2 pi mu naught I1 upon 2 pi r. So you will get F21 upon dl is equal to mu naught by 2 pi I1 I2 by r. Same expression. But what is the direction of F21 now? Direction for F21, Fleming's left hand rule, if I'll use, current is in the downward direction, magnetic field is inside the plane of the paper, my thumb is pointing this side, right, away from the conductor 1. So away from conductor 1. So this is the direction of F21. Okay, so you see that here the force is repulsive, whereas here the force was attractive. When the two parallel wires, infinitely long parallel wire, carries current in same direction, the force is attractive. Here force per unit length, and here force is repulsive. Okay, but the expression in both the cases is coming out to be same, which is this. Now if you have this expression, okay, there is a see, the expression which we are getting is F by dl is equal to mu naught by 2 pi I1 I2 by r. Okay, but mu naught by 4 pi we know is how much. So what I'll do, I'll just multiply 2 here and down. So this will become, this combined with this will become mu naught by 4 pi. Okay, so I1 I2 by r, and this 2 will remain here, is F by dl. Okay, now this value is 10 raised to the power minus 7, right? So and this 2, so 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 7 I'm getting, and this remains as it is, I1 I2 by r. This is F by dl. Okay, so now how will you define 1 ampere? Definition of 1 ampere. Suppose I1 I2 both are 1 ampere. Okay, both are 1 ampere. So then the force, and they are separated, that means you have two infinitely long wires carrying same identical current, having this separation of 1 meter, and the force per unit length they experience on each other is this 2 into 10 to the power minus 7. Then the two current will be 1 ampere each. Okay, so the definition of 1 ampere comes from this formula, which says that if we have two infinitely long parallel wire carrying identical current separated by a unit distance of 1 meter and experiences a current per unit length of 2 into 10 to the power minus 7 Newton, then the current passing through the two wires is 1 ampere each. Okay, I repeat, when you have two infinitely long parallel conductor carrying identical current separated by a distance of 1 meter or unit length, exerts a force of 2 into 10 to the power minus 7 Newton per centimeter, then the current in both the conductor is 1 ampere each. Okay, so that is